What it do, Z-Boy crew? Today we got a massive stream ahead of us. We're going to be talking a little bit of Norwich, but the main focus, guys, is Roman Abramovich. So I'm going to introduce the stream for about 10 minutes. Then we're going to get our guest, Frank Khalid, on the show today, guys. So do make sure to stay tuned, guys. We've got a massive show coming up. Smash the like button, subscribe. Let's pop the intro, and then we'll come back. And we're back, and I'm bringing you guys another stream. It's been a while since I've done a review. It's about 4 days because I was more confused on the timings, because a lot of the timings for these streams were all over, and I was like, I'm not going to do a review yesterday because I had Frank Khalid on today. So I was like, you know what, I'll rest tomorrow, we'll do a stream today. But I'm posting this a lot on TikTok now, so if you guys do want to come over and check me out on that, it's links in the description, so do go check that out now. If you're new here as well, do make sure to like, subscribe, comment if you're new. But I'll talk Norwich, and then when we get Frank in here, we're going to talk Roman Abramovich with him. So I'm just going to get up I'm going to write my banners quickly, guys. So we're going to talk about, obviously, 3 UK. Not going to really mention them too much, but we're going to talk that. And we're going to talk if Frank Khalid is going to buy the club, possibly, and obviously me, all the players. And then we're going to ask him a couple questions. He's going to be here for about 30 minutes. So, be here in 10 minutes for about 30 minutes. So we'll get into that. But we'll talk Norwich just quickly. And I thought Norwich was a good game, to say the least. I don't think it was anything special. I think we did the job. That's what we should have done. I'll bring just the share the screen here. As if you guys are showing, as I said, I'm just going to do Norwich until Frank gets here, and then when Frank Khalid gets here, I will go off to talking more Chelsea, Roman Abramovich, sorry. So it's 3-1. I mean, a game we couldn't complain in. I mean, we got our 3 goals, a penalty. It was a penalty, but obviously Mendy couldn't do much about it. Mendy couldn't do much about it there. So, I'll take that win. I'll take it. I think the only negative time from that game. Again, I spoke about this last time. We have minimal shots on target, and we are now scoring them like 7 shots on target, and we got 3 at the back of the net, which is okay due to the 15 shots we had. So it's not bad, but the only negative, and I will take away from this, is just Timo Werner. And I really think he's not fit for the squad, because the amount of times I saw him just not going in for the tackle, not going in for the ball, like, it's just not the standard. Like, I get his injuries he has, but you got to put 100% into the game. Like, you got to put your body behind the line. That no matter if you're gonna get injured or not. So I was a bit disappointed in him there for that one. But positive was Mount. I mean, Mount turned up against Norwich. Like he did last time. He's done it again, which is good to see there. Havertz as well. Havertz is finally back on form. I mean, it's good to see him back on form. Not back on form now, because he's finally. Hang on, guys, 1 second. Havertz is finally on form, which is great to see. I mean, we can finally have some consistency in our attack, and we don't need to focus off, rely on Lukaku, which is good to say at least. And Saul as a wingback. I mean, I'm happy to have Saul as a wingback now over Alonso, because I think Saul is just a way better replacement than Alonso. Because I think he offers a lot more. What's the word to say? You could say drive, like he adds a bit more drive, but he has just more freedom. Like, and like he'll just not make as many mistakes. To the point there. Doesn't know anything about football. Okay, Praz. I know Praz is there, but yeah, obviously, guys, we've got Frank coming on in about a couple minutes. I'm just waiting for him to jump on now. But guys, do make sure to like, comment, subscribe, guys. Let's hit 10 likes. I think we can do that now. We can easily hit 10 likes now. But yeah, again, guys, talk to me about Norwich here, guys. guys, you guys just showing this is a new channel as well, guys. I was recently on the CFC chat channel. Obviously, we had Frank on a couple months ago, but now we've integrated into a new channel. So this is the new channel here. But yeah, I mean, guys, give me your thoughts on Werner, because as I said, guys, I don't think Werner is fit for this team. I'm gonna generally say I don't think Werner is fit and should stay in this team. I really don't think he should be in this team because just the way he plays the football is not meant for Chelsea. He's not ready for Chelsea. And, we've had him here for 2 years, and I think it's time for Werner to go. I mean, is it too early to say? Possibly. But I've been saying this since last August, and I said I'll give Werner till next August to prove to himself. If he can't, then I think time's up. And it's been about 7 months, and he hasn't done anything since August. I'm gonna keep giving it to him. If he can't performing good in a couple weeks, great for him. But I'm still on. I like Werner. I think Werner is a fantastic player, but he's just really, really bad at Chelsea. Like, he's not Chelsea standards. We've got people like Mount, who's Havertz, who's coming on form, Ziyech, who's on form, Pulisic coming up, Mount, who's playing well. I don't think we have room for someone like Werner. And if we can go and get other players like Usman, or we go get another attacker, like, I don't think there's room. I would keep him. Obviously, we have to now. Like, if it's, let's assume we get owners, that I would keep him, but if there are some other opportunities, like another attacker coming in, I will get the other attacker in over him, because I do think there are a lot better attackers out there than Werner. I don't think Werner's anything special. I think we can easily replace him for that. But yeah, guys, so I'll just quickly cover Norwich, and then we're going to get into some more actual details into Chelsea and the ownership. But yeah, I mean, Aspilicueta as well, injury regime. I mean, Ruben Loftus-Cheek came on. I don't think Ruben Loftus-Cheek played that bad, and I'm not a fan of Loftus-Cheek at all. A lot of people said he did bad or he did. I think he was quite decent, and I'm not a big fan of him. So big props to Loftus-Cheek. Yeah, I think if Josh is in here, Josh was saying he was robbed off an assist, and yeah, I mean, he was. Lukaku should have finished that for sure. So Loftus-Cheek was a positive for that one too. And then the back three, I mean, I think Christensen, he's going to Barcelona, yep, whatever. I think just play him in the team. It doesn't matter. Let's just play him in the team. Who cares? He plays, he turns up, he doesn't. I don't think Christensen is anything special, as I've always been said. If he stayed, he stayed. I would have been happy. If he goes, he goes. So I'm not really frustrated on him. I just think if he's going, then Kunde has to come in August 2nd. So once it hits August 2nd, I do think Christensen needs to come in. But man, Mount and Havertz and their goddamn celebrations. Like, I'm just seeing a gif now on them. Like, I'll share it to you guys. Man, big man Hajia shared it to me. Not to me, but to put on his Twitter here. Oh my god, that's funny. Oh, Mason Mount. Another thing, again, Mason Mount, I was going to say, thanks for reminding me about Mason Mount. But again, guys, Mason Mount turned out fantastically against Norwich. But how is he going to keep this up during the season? I don't think he can keep this up because, we've seen the consistency from him. And I just think, do we rest him? Do we not? But this game proved that he's possibly back. He's possibly back in the squad. So I would keep playing him for the future games. We've got Newcastle, Burnley, Everton, I'm pretty sure. So Newcastle, Lille, Middlesbrough, Brentford, Southampton. Oh, we already played Burnley. Jesus, my bad. I forgot that. So we've got Newcastle next. And this, I think, will be our toughest game till West Ham. Because Newcastle haven't lost, I think, in 5 games. Or they're like on like they're the third highest European team to have points since January. So like, I'm a bit nervous to see how they are. I'll be a bit scared for them, but obviously, it's Norwich. I think we can deal with that. But yeah, we'll move on from the preview. I got Frank here. Obviously, Frank's backstage. I'll bring him on now. Frank, and how are you?
I'm fine, mate. How are you doing? You okay?
All good, all good. Happy to have you on the new channel. Obviously, we merged from the CFC Chat channel, coming to the Z Void channel now, me and the Amir guy. So happy to everyone. We're going to talk some Chelsea and obviously kind of talk about the ownership. I mean, that's the number one priority about today, isn't it? Just the number one ownership. So just give me your thoughts on that. Like overall thoughts, how you been feeling the last 2 weeks and how are you feeling now?
Well, obviously you've been talking about new owners for the last couple of weeks, so it was a difficult time because obviously we all love Roman Abramovich and
Yeah.
understand what's happening and the reason why it's happening. Just didn't really think that the events that's happened in the last 48 hours would go this way. You'd hope that the government would allow Roman to sell the club, and then and then things will just carry on as they are. But the things that have unfolded last sort of 24 hours, 48 hours, it's just been very tough for any Chelsea fan to take at the moment. There are so many negatives. You're just hearing one thing or the other, and just so much uncertainty. I mean, no matter what happens, we'll still support Chelsea to the end. But as far as the owner's scenario is concerned, just don't know what's going to happen, do you? Really, at the moment. I mean, before we were looking at several people that could buy the club and trying to engage who would be better for our club, who would take us forward. But now I think we're in a situation where I think anybody would do at the moment just to get us out of the current predicament. It's very hard to predict what's going to happen, but hopefully, I mean, late last night there was a news that the government will allow Roman Abramovich to sell the club, which will hopefully improve our current situation.
I mean, as you said, it's been going up and down. No one really knows the situation happening here. We had 2 weeks ago where we heard that Rome was probably giving us the trustee funds until he turns it over, and then we heard otherwise. So every week it's been changing, and now we've got the clearance that the UK are going to try and get someone to take over Chelsea. And as you said, anyone can come take over Chelsea here. It doesn't have to be, we will kind of picking and choosing now who we wanted. We said Saudis and we said this, we said that, but now it's whoever. I'm assuming it's whoever the government pick, or like it's Roman picks up, but the government transactions the ownership. Is that how it works?
I'm not even sure myself. I think it's obviously has to be government approved. I think whoever comes in next has to be someone that A, is financially sound, B, has got no anything political about them. So we don't want to go through this again. I think it'll be a combination of the government and combination of Roman Abramovich. I think that will decide who our new owners will be. But at the moment, it has been very tough. I mean, you read the news all the time, different bits of news coming out. What's worrying for me is that in paper this morning it was reported a few of the players are looking to terminate their contracts and move on, and that worries me. But then I think if you look at the bigger picture, whenever anyone's left the club, we've always done, we've always come out well. We've always bought well. We've always found talent in our academy. So I'm confident whatever happens, we'll carry on. But it's just the uncertainty at the moment that's worrying every Chelsea fan, including myself. But day by day, I mean, like I said, yesterday it was news of the bank accounts being frozen, and we're not even sure what's going to happen tomorrow on the match day. I mean, I'm going, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. But they're limited to how much scrutiny they can have, how much money they can spend. I mean, I just have no idea of what's going to be happening.
I want to just expand on that point that you said before about that some players wanting to looking to terminate their contracts. Is this because of the obviously situation how we're just not comfortably sound, or is it just because they want to just pursue their other careers? And if you could expand on which players, if you know any players that are looking.
I don't know the name of the players, but I do know that obviously at a time like this, a lot of agents will be advising the players, and there's opportunities there for the agent to make some money, the player to possibly get better contracts. When you're in long-term contracts at a club like Chelsea, and when there's uncertainty of what the future holds, unfortunate as it is, some people look at it as an opportunity, don't they? And I was reading somewhere that the only way they could possibly, I wouldn't say terminate, but get out of their contract is if they don't get paid for a certain amount of weeks. So that's why there's so much uncertainty with no money coming in, with the sponsors pulling out. It just, it just worries me particularly. What's happening. I don't think it's a situation I ever thought that Chelsea would get into. I mean, we were worried, obviously, a few weeks ago when we said that we had to find a new owner, but you thought we would have been given time to find that owner. Just don't understand why the government has rushed into it like they have and not really thought about. It's not just the players, obviously, it's the people that work at Chelsea as well, isn't it? It's the people out there every day, the staff that work there. Their futures are uncertain. Fans who've supported the club for so many years, they don't know what's happening. And then tomorrow, I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what is going to happen tomorrow when I go to the game. It's just uncertainty everywhere.
Yeah, and it says we don't have any clearance on like what's going to happen. And obviously, we heard this news just before the Norwich game, and now going into the what game's next? The Newcastle side.
Newcastle at home.
Tomorrow? Is it tomorrow? No, I think it's. For you. So for you, it's tomorrow. Yeah. Sorry. I get all the times completely in my bad. No, but yeah, as you said, the Newcastle game coming up. So it's gonna be very weird for also the players as well, and as their mindset heading into the future of Chelsea. But obviously on the sponsorship, we had the 3 UK, and I think them pulling out there is not a massive loss, but it's a massive, kind of statement that they put out. And I think it was very disrespectful what they did. What was your thoughts on the 3 UK and what they did?
Look, you can understand to a certain degree, but what I don't really understand is what they got to gain by coming out now. I think they should have just hanged on till the end of the season, wait till the new owners come in. I just think pulling out like they have done is, I thought it was unnecessary a little bit. I was very pleased to hear that Nike obviously are sticking with us, which is something that made me feel a bit better. But yeah, I just don't really understand. I mean, okay. When Abramovich bought the club, there was loads of questions then, where's the money come from, everything there. But, the government allowed it to happen. The sponsors had no issue with it. So why is it an issue now?
Yeah.
I know the war is happening. Obviously, he's connected, obviously, with Putin and all that. I can understand why he's going through what he's going through at the moment, and why the government are doing it. But I just don't understand what is the point of free pulling out a sponsorship. What have they got to gain? What is that statement for? Government, I understand completely, but why would a sponsor do it? Surely you'd wait until the new owners come and then make that decision.
Yeah. And I think I agree because obviously now, like, they've negatively just dropped in saying this. So I don't think, because I think Chicago stayed and Yokohama. So that was a good move from them.
Is there any glasses free with the relentless?
Yeah. I mean, Chicago has said they're staying. Nike said they're staying. So, yeah, I just don't understand why Free come to that decision. They should have just waited a few days just to see what's happening.
Mo from the Blue Lounge says 3 have shot themselves in the foot. They will regret taking this action. And do you think that they will? Because I do think they will. Because obviously, they're not the only sponsors that we rely on. I think we can obviously easily replace them. And to be honest with you, I never liked the 3 on the shirt. To be honest with you, I think it wasn't the best sponsorship. But do you think that will regret this in the future?
I think they will, because sometimes maybe. It's very hard to understand why they made that decision. Maybe financially they're thinking they can save some money, and maybe they didn't want a sponsorship. Maybe they weren't getting what they wanted out of it. I don't know. I have no idea. This is what I'm so confused by. And I don't think there'll be a problem for Chelsea to get another sponsor. Obviously, it's not the great. Obviously, we don't put ourselves in a great position for the next person that comes in. Obviously, they'll offer less money than what Free were offering. But just don't really understand their decision, to be honest with you.
It's a weird one, and I think all Chelsea fans thought it was a weird one because it was confusing. And as you said, like, they don't tie any towards like the Russian government. They didn't tie anything towards Abramovich. Like, it wasn't anything personal. They didn't affect anything, at all. It was just they just pulled out because they felt that way, So it was just more of their feelings, and they assumed that societal needs was like, the majority wants us to pull out. Let's pull out. So, and you said as well, possibly that they were having a loss from their profit, and they just made it as an excuse to pull out. So, they can do what they want. We always got other sponsors here. I mean, it was £40 million that the deal was. So them pulling out will affect us, but it won't affect us as much as Roman leaving the club will. So we'll always love Rome, but we don't have any love for the 3 UK there. But moving on to obviously happening in August. Now, we're looking to get new owners, but we have to get new owners before May. Do you think this will stop us in August for our transfer window? Because we need to get players in. And, I think you and me were speaking just after last August and who we need to get for January, but we didn't get any targets. So what happens now going into August?
As long as we got the manager there, Thomas Tuchel, long as he's with our club, I don't have no worries at all, because he's the type of player, he's the type of manager that can get the best out of any players. We've also got a fantastic academy. We've got players on loans, that can come back, fit in some certain positions. I'm not really worried about that. I just think we need to get the new owners and then, take time for us to get back to where we were. But for us, the main thing is to get those owners. And I think whoever comes in, whoever's going to invest that kind of money, I think they will invest money in the team as well. So I'm not worried about that as well. Obviously, like I said a few weeks ago, all fans were kind of deciding who they wanted to come in. Some were saying we don't want Americans, and some said we didn't want this, didn't want that. But now I think it's just a case of anybody come in just to help us over this hurdle here. And I think whoever does come in, they will invest in the team, invest in the club. You don't buy that kind of asset and not invest in it.
I agree. And obviously, we're not going to get someone who doesn't have a lot of money. Obviously, anyone who buys the club will have a lot of money. It's just what their money is intended to do. So hopefully, the person who comes in will have the same intention Roman did. Obviously, Roman treated Chelsea like a child. And obviously, you've been following Chelsea since more than I've been alive. So, how sad are you that Roman's leaving now? I bet you're absolutely heartbroken.
I am heartbroken. I know there's a lot of negativity about him at the moment of his links with Putin and all that, and where his money came from, all that. But I would be eternally grateful for what he's done to my club. We were a successful club when he bought us. I mean, we did win a few trophies before he came to us, and we were in the Champions League before he came to us. But he turned us into a team that did well, to a team that started to win trophy on a regular level. Yeah. He also bought players that perhaps wouldn't have come to our club, that you would have already dreamed of, and he won everything. I mean, to win everything, like I said, I've been supporting Chelsea for a long time, and to see us win every possible trophy in the last 20 years has been absolutely fantastic, amazing. And I'll be eternally grateful for what he's done for our club. And it is very sad to see him go like he is going. But he will be a part of our history. And we'll be, just like Matthew Harding was before him, he'll be remembered for what he did for our club.
No, 100% agree. I think, obviously I've only been following, he took over when I was born, the Roman era. So I've only known the Roman era. So obviously, deep down, I'm always hopeful. I'm always looking forward to the future, seeing what's happened. But obviously, he was a magical man here. Mo from the Blue Lines has a great comment here. It says, has Frank spoken to any of the players? If so, how's their morals holding up?
I've messaged a few of them. They are down at the moment, but they're as confused as what we are. But they're very professional and know they just have to carry on and just make sure the results on the pitch are right, which they have been doing. I mean, you saw the performance against Norwich, which was a very professional performance, and it was a good performance. All they can do is just carry on as they are, and there is so much uncertainty. Like I said, they're not saying a lot to me at the moment, but they still seem the morale seems high at the moment. So that side I know is all right at the moment. There might be the odd one or two players that might be starting a little bit, down, disheartened, but the majority of them are positive.
Yeah, and that's what we want to hear. We want to hear them that they're focused on the game, on the matches. Obviously, they're going to have this in their head, but hopefully they're focusing on the match ahead. But let me just quickly read these comments as well. Kismet, initially the 3 logo looks horrible on the kit. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I think, we all said it looked horrible, and then we just got used to it, and then after that we just accepted it. But I think now that it's gone, we don't really care. But
Well, I have to agree.
would you
I
sit?
didn't like it as well. Initially, I didn't like it. I got used to it now. I'm okay with it now, but yeah, oh well, okay. Maybe sometimes there's always a bright spot out of this, and I think if that goes the logo and something nice on the shirt, that would be nice. Yeah, I guess
So
that's the one positive.
do we play with the same shirt on Newcastle? I assume we don't.
Sorry.
Do we play with the same shirts with the three, or I assume we don't? We have to wear new shirts.
From my understanding, they don't have plain shirts, Chelsea. So I don't know what they're going to be doing. Either they play with the same shirt, depends on what Free say, or they cover the logo up or something. I don't know. I just don't know. I haven't got a clue. Tomorrow they will be playing with the Free on the shirt, but I don't know what they'll be doing with it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to find out on the game there. But big up to Latimer's Prime. He says here, has Tuchel overtaken Jose as our greatest ever manager? And if not, what does he have to do in order to do so? That's for you, Frank.
I mean, Thomas Tuchel has done a fantastic job. I think we need to give him a few more seasons to see if he can overtake Jose. I don't think he quite has done that yet. He does need to win the Premier League, I think. That's really important. It is slightly harder for him than it was for Jose. Because if you remember Jose, when he came in, spent a lot of money, and the other clubs that were around those times, I think the Man Uniteds and the other clubs, they didn't spend the same kind of money that we did at that time. So his success was really based around the players he could buy. I think for Thomas to do that now is a bit difficult because of the teams, or Man City, obviously they're a very strong team, and Liverpool as well. But yeah, in order to get to Jose's level or above Jose, I think he has to win the Premier League at least once.
And I mean, we hope to see that next season. We all thought possibly this season, but not looking good this season. But we can always hope next. And obviously, I think 99.9% of Chelsea fans are backing Tuchel, and we want to have 100%. Him for the long run because,
Listen,
as you said before,
that is so important that he stays as our manager. Yep. It doesn't matter about the players because he's the type of manager, type of coach that can, turn reasonable players into really good players. You just have to look at what he's done with several players in the team right now. I mean, Trevor Chalobah, he's in the team, scored the other night. Got opportunity. And that was down to Thomas Tuchel, really, wasn't it? And I think it doesn't matter who the players are. Obviously, if he can get one or two other players, if he's allowed to buy anyone in the summer, it will help improve the team. But he's the type of manager that will get the best out of what he's got.
Yeah, for sure. And we want to build a long-term team with him, have him for a couple seasons, let's, even though we're through our downs, let's keep him, let's trust him, because I think, and you are a massive advocate of this. We all love Thomas Tuchel. Like, there's no doubt about that. Mo again has a follow-up question saying, what does Frank think about singing Roman's name? And I'm guessing he's assuming during the Norwich game.
Well, you can't blame the fans for not singing his name for what he's done for the club. I understand why government officials and all these people say you shouldn't be singing it because of what's happening. I understand that as well. But to be fair to the fans, they're all upset. There's nothing to do with the war, what's happening. They're not supporting the war in any sort of way. They're not supporting Russia at all in this at all. All we're doing is really singing the name of someone that's done so much for our club. We've forever remembered what he's done.
Yeah, again, and I 100% agree with you. We're focusing more on what he's done than obviously focusing on what, the minority of what he's done, for the club. But obviously, the ties have been done with, Putin and Abramovich, and I don't think any Chelsea fan is complaining about the sanction, but majority of Chelsea fans, and me included, do you think it's a bit of like hypocrisy that we're seeing here, that we're seeing just because, Russia and Ukraine are in the media now, that just that Roman gets sanctioned now? We've seen the Saudi, what they've done. We've seen the Chinese, what they've done. Even the Americans, we could say. So do you think there's a bit of hypocrisy towards Roman?
Yeah, I think there is.
Being targeted?
Yeah, I think there is. I think there's I think if you look at other owners, I won't go into each owner, but yes, there are question marks against those owners. But I just think the way that Chelsea been treated, fair enough, the embargo, everything that's happened, everything with Roman Abramovich, I understand completely. But they could have handled it a lot better than they have done. I just think what they've done is just too extreme, I think, personally, with the club. There's where we could have still kept on running as a club. Monies could have kept within the club, and then whoever, they didn't have to go to this extreme like they have, personally.
I think it was too much extreme, and obviously we're seeing, not just Roman gone. It's we can't, fans can't go to their games. They can't have, for a lot of people, in the UK, it's more, it's their pleasure, it's their mental state to go watch their team play. So that's been banned off. Obviously, we can't buy their shirts to support the club. So a lot has been cut off. And you think, as you said, you want to expand on how is it more unfair?
Sorry, can you repeat that again? Sorry, Matt.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, expand on it. Like, how do you think this is a bit unfair? Like that the situation's going on with more that the fans are getting targeted here. It's not just
100%, 100%, 100%. I mean, we want to support our club. End of the day, for some people, they say life isn't it football. It helps them, especially in current times as well. In the everyone, we're going through a recession in the UK. Times are very tough. Living costs are going up and everything. And sometimes for any normal person like myself, the one thing we got to look forward to sometimes is watching our team play, and seeing the way Chelsea have been treated now. And if you can't even buy a ticket to go to a game, I mean, that really, I think is extreme, to be honest with you. I mean, what happens if Chelsea were to get to an FA Cup final or a Champions League final? It's just, for me, and even the games that are coming up, the Champions League games, season ticket only covers the group stages, doesn't cover the matches during the knockout phases. So what are we going to do? They're going to be playing in front of it, no crowd.
It's a bit weird because it's like fans going to, because this whole sanctions is because of what Roman Abramovich has done to Russia and what Russia's done to Ukraine. So it's like fans going to games is affecting the war in a sense. That's what they're kind of portraying there. So I think it's a bit disregarded. At least if they were to buy tickets, the money can go to the Ukrainians or something. Like, doesn't need to go to Chelsea's pocket. We don't want to give to Chelsea's pockets. I think fans just want to go to the game, and you could agree with that. That the main priority is just to go watch their team play.
Yeah, go. When you go down there, yeah. I mean, that is the main thing. I don't really understand what the government gains out of what they're doing, to be honest with you. Okay, they've done what they've done to Roman Abramovich. They've seized these assets, which I understand completely. But let the businesses, let the club run as it is. Let the club run as it is. Let the fans go down there. Make sure obviously the money that goes back into the club, so at least it supports the people that work there and everything else. There was no need to do that. That was too extreme. Do you understand?
No, I completely understand what you're saying. I think it's way too extreme. It's not affecting, as I said, not affecting the Ukraine and Russia situation, which the government is trying to sanction.
Yeah.
So
sometimes the government, I'll be honest with you, you just do not know what's in their minds. Politicians, they can't run the country, let alone a football club. So I don't really, to me, I just hope there'll be some solution that will happen in the next few days or weeks, whatever. Because if we're caring as we are down here, I just don't know what's going to happen, really.
And we've got fans see coming like who's buying. Like, we don't know any clarity, and that's the thing. As you said, we don't have any clarity to it. But before we move on to the next section, I want to quickly just add to the point that looking at this quote here, and obviously Frank did, I think, post this a couple of days ago, saying that as long as we have enough shirts and as long as the bus is full of fuel, we will arrive and we will compete. And that's the quote that Tuchel said, and I think that sums up his mentality perfectly. And I think that's what we all need to feel like right now. I was gonna say, do you agree with that, Frank, as well? I think he's frozen. You're on mute, Frank.
Sorry, I just lost you there for a second.
Oh,
no, it's
good.
fantastic. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Wait, can you hear me?
Sorry, Mike, can you hear me?
Wait, can you hear me now?
Okay. Yeah, look, the mentality, like I said earlier when I spoke to one or two of the players, they were saying that they're going to be professional about it. They're going to be obviously giving 100%, and I think in a funny way, I think that will help us on the pitch as well, because it'll be us against them mentality, and they'll play well even better than they were before. So I think it will help us on the pitch as well.
And don't you think Tuchel's mentality also, as you said, off on the pitch, but off the pitch? And do you think Tuchel's mentality off the pitch helps the players, keep the mental state happy?
Sorry, I can't hear anything. I'm trying to see the thing here.
I think I'll just tell him to leave and come back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? He's muted his mic again. Leave. Yeah, okay. He's gonna leave and come back. Big up to Mo as well for joining. Appreciate you joining here. I hope the problem is about to be solved now. I mean, I agree. And guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you're new, let's hit 50 subscribers right now, guys. We can easily fix it, get that up now. Trivago new sponsors. I mean, hopefully Trivago is the new sponsor. I mean, maybe we could have it on the front. I got him to leave and he should come back in. I'm not sure what happened there, but guys, this quote I think sums up Tuchel mentality 100%. I think it shows how good of a manager this man really is and how much he's needed at the squad, because you could speak to any Chelsea fan and I think nearly 99.9999% of them want Tuchel at the team. I think the only people who don't are just Lampard babies. I'm just going to send him the link to the message again. We'll see if he comes back from that link. But guys, if you guys want to have any questions for Frank, guys, do send me a message in the comments, guys. Shoot a comment and I'll ask him the question about it. If there's any more about that, let me just try and fix him to come back in. Yeah, I think he's back. Yeah. All right. Yeah, you're back now. Can you hear me?
Sorry, I can hear you. Sorry, someone ran on the phone and I lost connection completely.
No, that's all good, all good. But yeah, obviously, just on the quickly, we'll finish up when you're done. But obviously, the Tuchel, do you think this helps him? That helps the player's mentality off the pitch as well. How he keeps his comments like this.
I think it does. It shows you how well. As I mentioned before, I spoke to a few of the players. They're all very professional. They're going to get the 100% on the pitch, and I think he will give 100% as well. And that's down to the manager. I mean, he's not letting anyone put their heads down at all. He's making sure that they go into those games and play 100%, give 100% effort. And you can see that against Norwich that's exactly what they gave. So, yeah, he's absolutely what he's quoted is exactly what I feel he will do. He'll make sure that those players, as long as they have their shirts, as long as they have fuel in the bus, they're going to make sure they're competitive. And in a funny way, like I said before, I think it will help the mentality on the pitch as well. I think it will be everybody. Obviously, rival fans want us to fail, want our team to fail, but I think it will actually give us a boost. Yeah.
I just want to quickly add this comment as well before you have to go. Just relating off this Tuchel post, you said you've spoken to a couple of the players. Have you ever spoken to Lukaku and seen how his mentality is upon this? Because we've seen him; he's been very poor on and off the pitch. How are you feeling about him, or have you spoken to him and seen his thoughts on this?
I spoke to him actually. I think I bumped into him in the car park, and he was very positive. His body language is all right. He's smiling, laughing. He was mixing with fans where I was, taking pictures, and I don't know. Off the pitch, he looks all right. I don't know, something on the pitch. I don't know what's wrong with his mental state. Maybe we're not playing his style of football, like he says. But yeah, he seems pretty positive off the pitch.
That's good to hear, because obviously on the pitch he's something else. But he's not 100 million strikers. Hopefully this, we could call it an evolution, helps him in grand that form. Because what are your thoughts on him this season? Because obviously you just kind of said a little snap on the pitch. He hasn't been good, but we haven't seen anything from him this season. 100 million is not worth it.
Do you know something? I was very excited when we got him. I thought this would be a different Lukaku to the one that we had. He's been scoring goals wherever he's been going. Reminds me of Didier Drogba, strong player. His debut against Arsenal was absolutely fantastic. I thought brilliant. This is exactly what we want. a player that's going to bully defenders and is
Mm.
going to be fantastic for us. Then he kind of struggled to score goals, kind of came back, did all right against Aston Villa. And then he's gone quiet again, not quite doing it for us. But I don't know. It seems to me he just needs 1 or 2 goals to get the confidence back.
Mm.
But at the
I hope
moment,
we can see that.
I'm just hoping that next few weeks, if he can get on a run or something and score goals. But at the moment, I think Kai Havertz is the better alternative at the moment. And who knows? There's no answer to this. Some certain players click at certain clubs. You would look at Fernando Torres, was brilliant for Liverpool, not so great for us.
Yeah.
Mo Salah, similar. I don't know. I just don't know what is the style of football or what it is or what in people's mind is. Obviously, style of football, I think, more than anything else, isn't it, really? Our style of football is slightly different, and the way Thomas Tuchel does it is slightly different than what he's used to.
Yeah. I mean, we'll have to see that. Obviously, 100 million. He's not going to be going anywhere, so we're going to have to keep him here. But also quickly, Kepa as well. For me, I think Kepa's an unbelievable keeper. I think he can fight his spot for number 1. And we had a question before that. What's your thought on the Kepa here? And do you think Kepa can be staying at Chelsea? Because I think he's a massive, massive part of Chelsea's squad.
I would like him to stay because I think he is an important player for our team. He did a really good job when Edward Mendy was at the African Nations Cup. His mentality is brilliant. I mean, he's been fantastic since Thomas Tuchel came along. No fault of his, the penalty shootout. That I don't blame him at all for that. We wouldn't have even got to the final if it wasn't for him saving us in 2 penalty shootouts. He did everything possible, and it just unfortunately it didn't work out on the day. But yeah, I would like him to stay, but I've got a feeling that he would want first team football and he'd probably want to leave.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to him to decide where he goes from that. If he can leave, obviously, we depend on the owner there. And obviously, Christensen as well, leaving. Are you a big advocate for Christensen? Because for me, I do think he's a very average player. I'm happy that he's, leaving, but again, I'm a bit sad that he grew up at Chelsea and then he's kind of snaking us in a sense.
Okay. I am sad to see him go. I'll be honest with you, just before Thomas Tuchel took over, he was not having a great time. He was making mistakes. Thomas Tuchel has come along. Like I mentioned before, he makes players that are probably not playing well into really good players. He is a quality defender. It is sad seeing him go, but it's not end of the world for us. We've got alternatives and we've got other players. And like I said, Thomas Tuchel is such a manager that whoever he brings in, he'll make sure that they'll be performing just as good as Christensen does. It's just a shame that he's going without us getting any money for him. That's the sad thing for me.
Yeah,
he's going on a free transfer, but what can you do? It's one of those things.
Yeah, I mean, he'll go Barcelona and see what he does there. I think Koundé, amazing replacement if we can get him, depending on what happens.
Depending on new owners, you don't know what the new owners' thoughts are going to be. What they got other people in mind or what, but we can only wait and see.
I mean, coming up, next couple of weeks, I think by the end of March, we'll be seeing something because, we're in the kind of rumors now. We're in the talking stage. Something's happening behind the scenes that we don't know of. Obviously, I think the lead is the Turkish guy, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll have to see and find out. So any final thoughts on the ownership? Like, who do you think will be coming in? And possibly, we got a question before. Is Frank Khalid going to be rich enough to buy the club?
At the moment, I'm not in a position to buy the club, but God, I could. It's just unfortunate it came a bit too soon for me. But one thing I can do is speak to any potential buyers, which I've spoken to 1 or 2 people, friends of mine, and they're having a look at it. Sometimes these things happen at the right time, sometimes they don't. Unfortunately, this is not the right time for me at this present moment. But what I can do is possibly get that buyer, guide that buyer, and try and help out if I possibly can. But as far as any potential owner, look, anybody who is going to buy the club will spend a lot of money buying the club, and I'm pretty sure they're not going to start stripping the assets and trying to make money out of it. They will have to spend money on it. So I'm pretty sure whoever comes in will spend money as well. Whether they do just as good a job as Roman Abramovich, we'll just have to wait and see.
Mm. I mean, yeah. I mean, any owner who just treats it like Roman Abramovich will be fantastic. But I don't think any owner can top Roman Abramovich. Is this person, very interested in the club, or is he just kind of watching
I think
and
they're
how
all
it's
looking
going?
at certain things, and I think it's to do with price and everything. Yeah. So it's just a question of price, it is, and everything. And obviously, they need to know the ins and outs of it because it's not just a club, is it? They need to know the financial state of it, and they need to know everything else with it as too. But yeah, the one or two people I've spoken to seem interested. But a lot of people sometimes are interested on the outside, but inside they probably got no attention. I don't know really, to be honest with you. I can't mention names or anything like that. But let's say we're trying to, I'm trying my best to get that, trying to get someone
Mm.
there. But I don't think there's short with your buyers, though, mind you. I don't think
Mm.
there's short with your buyers. I think there's plenty of people that are interested. It's just a question for us is who's the right one. Might not be the ones that I'm talking to. It could be someone out there. So I want to
Mm.
make sure whoever it is the right buyer. I don't think there's any problem as far as getting an owner, just a buyer. I just think I can't tell you how they're going to run their club. Like, will it be the same as Roman Abramovich? But we
I
only can
mean,
wait and see.
you're right there. We've got heaps of owners who can buy the club. It's who will be the owner of the club. We've got the owner there. But Frank, I'll let you go, man. I mean, appreciate you having me on. Sorry for you coming on. I'll definitely see you again soon. Any final words and any final words to the Chelsea fans watching?
Yeah, keep your chins up. I think everything will be fine. I think we've got a great manager in Thomas Tuchel, who I don't think will let the team drop their standards. Yes, we might lose one or two players who might not, obviously, who we can't renew their contracts because their contracts are ending. But we've got some fantastic players out on loan. The likes of Conor Gallagher, the likes of Armando Brajo, players like
Mm.
that can come into this team and make us even more exciting. And I'm not too concerned about players going, and I think we should just be positive. And as long as the government don't do anything else to us, I think we'll
Yeah.
be okay. I mean, there was talking of points reduction and God knows what else, but as long as that doesn't happen, as long as they allow us to at least pay the players and allow fans back in the stadium, I think that's really important.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, hopefully we get some clarity soon in who the owners are going to move. But for now on, we just continue football. Frank, thanks
Thank
so
you.
much for coming on. I'll definitely see you again soon.
Thank you, my friend. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Ben. See
Bye.
you soon. Big up to Frank in the house, guys. Obviously, Frank Khalid, everyone knows him there. But obviously, we learned some big news, like exclusive news that he doesn't share on his social media. That he just said that he's looking at potential buyers at the club. He's been speaking to the players about the mentality during the situation. So it is big up to Mami Suka. More people should be watching this. Then do make sure to like, subscribe, share, turn the post notifications on. Let's hit 50 subs now, guys. Share on Twitter, share on OnlyFans, share on whatever. Let's get the stream going. That's a good question, Prime. I definitely want to know that as well, but unfortunately, yeah, he messaged. He was only supposed to be here for 20 minutes, because he's at work now, but he stayed a bit longer. But that was a good question. I really want to know, where he played. I think, we had this question before. I'm not too sure. Yeah, no, I'm not too sure. I don't know if we had that question before. Because obviously we did have him on a couple of times. We had him on back in September, and then we had him on back last when we started the channel, I think back in March for a video, and then another stream. So obviously top man there. But yeah, guys, any final thoughts? We're gonna wrap up the stream in about 5 to 10 minutes. Um, I put the thing he put on the title. Obviously, he's giving some news there. I mean, I'll wrap up. I'll kind of can't speak recap on what he said there. I mean, he kind of got to say that he's knowing what the players' mentality is. That they're perfectly fine. They're watching what they're watching the game. They're looking ahead. And he said that he's looking at potential buyers to possibly buy the club. And he's saying that he's asking people, to look at the club, see if it's a good investment, because I think Chelsea is a great investment for anyone who can afford it. I mean, let's be honest, like the money people will make is way too, like, they make a lot of money. So it's just choosing who will be the perfect one. And obviously Roman picks that one. Lukaku's agent denying reports of the striker wanting to move back to Inter. Expect the media to put out articles soon. Many been briefed about it. So, damn, he's not going anywhere at the moment, anytime soon. But yeah, obviously Newcastle as well is coming up. I think that's gonna be a big game. My thoughts on Todd Boehly buying Chelsea. Oh, that's him. Is that the American? Let me double check if that's the American. Yeah, it is. What's his net worth? 2.2 billion or 4.4? 4.4 billion. I think I don't know who was talking about it. Someone's streaming. Someone was talking about this. I mean, I've no clue who this guy is. Like, he's got the money. He's got the money. I mean, what's this picture here? Let me bring this up. This is actually a good picture to bring up. Can't get it on thingy, so I'm gonna have to do this. But obviously, he's an American investor. 5 billion. That's the Swiss guy. 4 billion. Egyptian, no. 14 billion. Who would we want? I wouldn't want any of these guys, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't care who we get, but like, I want someone like who's willing to spend. That's it. And I think Isco here says, let's sell it to the Saudis. That would be my dream, because the Saudis love to spend. And it's not like a stereotypical like thing, but it's just the majority. Like, let's look at the realistic thought. Every Saudi owner, they spend money. Like, look at the Manchester Cities, look at Newcastle. Like, they spend money. They spend a lot of money. PSG. So I would want a Saudi over and looking at the previous evidence. But what I am saying is that I wouldn't care if he's American, British, Indian, Chinese. I don't care. Just spend money into the club. That's all I'm gonna care. Treat it like Roman will. But on previous experience, I would prefer Saudis or Arabs in general in that way. But guys, let's get this stream to 15 likes. We got 4 people in here, and let's put 3 subs off 50, guys. Easily. Smash the like button. I was gonna open the lines, but I'm like, I'm gonna end it soon as about 8 minutes. But I'm gonna open the lines next stream, guys. So I'm gonna be back. Oh, we got a game Monday, so I'll be back for the review on Monday night, possibly. So we're back for that review on Monday night there. But obviously the Newcastle one, it's gonna be, as I said, I think it's gonna be the toughest one we're gonna have in the coming schedule. Obviously, we got since I think West Ham, because they're on a good run. They're on a very, very good run. So we gotta watch out for them. But again, we mustn't forget that it's Newcastle. Like, they're not a good team. They shouldn't be a good team. They shouldn't be hard to beat. So I'm not afraid of them, but I'm just a bit worried in a sense. Like, I'm thinking how we're gonna play in that game. But obviously we're third as well. Arsenal also have 2 games in hand though, guys, and they can get 6 points. And they can just be up our asses soon. So that's pretty worrying as well. So we need to get wins. Win. I think Arsenal versus Tottenham, Leicester. So we want Leicester to win that. I mean, this top 4 race is very, very close. I mean, I personally don't think we're in it. I think it's for 4th spot. I don't think we should be in it. But again, we can be in it. I mean, it's very close. Like Wolves, Tottenham, West Ham, United, Arsenal. Like, that's a big like bunch of teams. So let's focus on Chelsea. Let's see what we get. But I think every game comes with a win. This one has to come with a win. We've got an easy run coming up. We've versed the hard teams. We've versed the Liverpool. We've versed the City. We've versed this, that. So I think I'm just trying to find. Yeah, so we got Newcastle, Lille. Jesus Christ, look, the thing's nearly finished. This Premier League's nearly done, guys. Like, there's not a lot of games left. Like, May, like, it seems so far away, but I think there'll be obviously some more games added, like FA Cup and international breaks happening. When is international break happening? 10th is happening from the 20th. I'm guessing from the 20th to the 27th. And I guess we start the week after. That makes sense. So, also, guys, Reece James is well going to be back for Brentford, I assume. So, And that's the latest news on that one. But you guys, let me know if you're going to be a bit afraid for Newcastle coming up, because I do think it's a bit worrying how we're going to play, because again, they haven't lost since January. So Roman Abramovich has been disqualified by the Premier League director. The Premier League just put their announcement up saying that they no longer recognize Abramovich, blah 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 blah. That rubbish that they do. Let me bring it up for you guys. Like, we don't apparently following the imposition, blah 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 blah. Disqualified Roman Abramovich as the director. The board decision does not impact. Let's switch to this. Okay, well, at least we know some clarity that we're not going to be losing any points until the 31st of May. We knew that, but at least we got some clarity on that one there. Let me just give a refresh. Let's see what timeline is saying. If there's any new news, we're going to wrap up here soon. Our players will have to swim for the UCL game. I mean, yeah, we're banned off getting private jets on anything. So I think we have to. I think we generally have to fly on sponsored things. So I mean, if Trivago can sponsor us like a plane or something, I don't think we can go off Roman's money. I think that's what it is. But also, Frank did say obviously his thoughts on 3UK, and he said 3UK is embarrassing. They shouldn't be doing this, and I think majority of us agree with that point, because 3UK, I mean, we did not like it. I think someone said here before, you said instead of the 3 logo, it looks horrible. I was getting used to it. They're going to regret this, and I think you're right. I think they're going to regret this, because it's like, okay, like no one liked it anyway. It's all right. But yeah, I'll wrap it up here, guys. Obviously, I want to speak more about Newcastle, possibly if I do a stream tomorrow, or I'll be back Monday. Actually, I'll quickly do a lineup. I'll do a lineup. Put a lineup here. I think we'll go for 3-5-2. I'll put, realistically, Mendy's gonna start. I think Rudiger comes back. I think no. I think Thiago starts this one, and then I think he rests the next one. And I think Christensen will start, realistically. And I think Chalobah, Sarr, and stuff will play next game. Right wing back. Ooh, who plays right wing back? Callum. Has to be. I think Callum. And you know what? I'll give it to Callum, because hasn't been playing much. Let's just jump him in a position. Why not? Left wing back, Saul. 2 midfielders. 2 midfielders I will go for is Kante fit? Was Kante on the bench against Norwich? Yeah, he came on, that's right. He came on and did the assist. I would put Kante Jorginho for this one. And then I will start cover next one and rest Jorginho. Front 3, I think here goes Mount. Actually, we're not going to play a 2. We're going to play a 3, aren't we? So I think we go, obviously, I think we all know our number 1 attacker here, Havertz. I think Mount on the left. I'm going to put Ziyech here, because he's our most consistent attacker. I don't want to see Werner on that pitch. I don't want to see Lukaku on that pitch. And we've got Hudson here. So, and then Pulisic possibly, but I think Pulisic comes on. I mean, I think Ziyech needs to get back fit a bit. But again, he could possibly start Middlesbrough. Let me think a bit. Nah. I'll keep Ziyech here. And I'll probably bring on Pulisic very early here, and then probably take off Hudson for Loftus, and then Georgie for Kovacic if we need a bit more attacking aggression. But yep, I think that's the lineup there for Newcastle. My prediction: Newcastle. I'm gonna say 2-0. 2-0. I think everyone's going to say 2-0 for this one, but I'll go 2-0. I'll say Havertz. And I feel like Saul. I have a feeling Saul's going to score. Like a cheeky outside the box, left foot, banging top right, just a cheeky little banger. So hopefully we see that from Saul. But appreciate everyone joining today. Again, big up to Frank for joining today. It was a massive support he showed. I messaged him during the week. I was like, come on. He said yes immediately. So big up to him. Catch you guys Monday. So, yes, Monday. I'll catch you guys Monday at 11 for the Newcastle review. See you guys.